Hello everyone and welcome to the Magic Elder. I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and I got a new mat. A special thank you to my family who have been very supportive of this, and they got me this mat as kind of just a present and kind of a celebration for them for getting, as many subs and just having a good time with it. So thank you to them, and thank you guys for watching. Today is just a quick deck tech, the deck I've been playing and working on. I've had a little bit of luck finding some versions of the deck online that I liked and kind of been tinkering with it. I will say that for sure, it is a struggle to play this deck unless you know the format 100%, which I'm still learning, so maybe I was a little ambitious on this, but I do want to go over it with you. I will also have the deck list in the description, so feel free to take a look at that. And I think the first thing I want to do is kind of start with the land base here. So basically, starting off, I have a swamp. We got two of those. A forest. I'll move this over here so you can probably see a little better. 2 Overgrown Tomb. I played 4 Blooming Marsh. I always liked getting them. It just never seemed to be an issue. 4 Verdant Catacombs. 1 Marsh Flat. And these were kind of the silver bullet lands, if you will. I got 1 Golgari Rot Farm. 1 Bojuka. 1 Pendelhaven. 1 Urborg, 1 Abandoned Mine, and then 4 Urza Saga. Okay, and now the silver bullet cards, obviously, I'll go next to kind of the way I can kill people. And I'll start with the Elvish Reclaimer. So essentially, you pay 2, you tap it to sack a land, and you're able to go search a land and put it into play tapped. So what I find, obviously, getting an Urza Saga is fantastic. Sometimes you need the Urborg. Golgari Rot Farm, if you know that they can't destroy a land, is kind of terrific. It really speeds you up. And also Bojuka, and I had a couple people question, why in the world would you get your Bojuka? Well, it is because once it's in play, I can sacrifice it and use the card to get it back. It's pretty neat. I'll kind of explain that a little bit. But also I had a 1 of Pendelhaven, which I will say the first week I played this deck, I really liked the Pendelhaven. It actually did some work. There's some little tricks that you can do with the Bitterblossom token and then equip it to make it a 3/3 with a Shadowspear. But I have to say, I think, sorry, it would have been a 3, it has a bigger, it's +1/+2, so it would have been 3/4. But I can honestly say I would probably cut that land now after this week. It was mostly unusable, and so, and I could have probably just used the mana fixing a little better. So those are the silver bullet lands. So again, going back to what I can use to kill my opponent with, Reclaimer obviously does the job. He gets big quick, so he's a very good creature. Bitterblossom, I have ran 3. I really do like 1. Anything else kind of gets a little overboard, obviously, so I kind of, well, I'll go over what I'm thinking about changing, but right now I had 3. Played 3 Dauthi Voidwalker. Was really impressed with this card. Very happy with it. Dark Confidant. I only have 2, guys. I'm sorry. I thought I was getting 2 more. I do have 1 for sure. I already got. And I got 1 more someone's bringing in for me. So I will give the deck 1 more shot. All right. It was a grind fest. And this week I went 1-3. So I actually had a worse record. But I can honestly say that the deck has potential, and maybe I'm just not willing to quite give it up yet, but I am fighting an uphill battle, there's no doubt. I needed Dark Confidant to help me out at certain points in the game. I just didn't. So I want to give it one more shot. And then 4 Tarmogoyf. And, you know, I don't want to blow past these Urza Saga lands. So real quick, with the Urza Sagas, in case you don't know, or in case you are just kind of wondering what's going on, again, most of you probably have a really good grasp of Urza Saga, but when you can sacrifice it, I have silver bullet cards, if you will. Obviously, Mishra's Bauble is kind of to get me out of a jam, but they're really good early if you get one, and every once in a while you do want to get it with the Saga. It's kind of rare, but you do. A Spellbomb, obvious reasons. There's a lot of decks that it's just really good against, and you know, it's an impressive card. And then Springleaf Drum. This is completely worth having. Really just kind of shocked me how good this card was, and I was able to do a lot of pretty awesome things with it for the mana where people weren't expecting the mana to be available. And then obviously Shadowspear, probably the craziest card. It is just so good. If you haven't played with one of these, I recommend it. I think maybe I was a little overzealous in playing it too early. I think maybe I could have been a little more protective of when I used it, but it was just fantastic. Love that card. And my hand disruption went up an Inquisition this week, 4 Thoughtseize and 3 Inquisitions. And I found every time I did one of these that I was very happy with my options. It was my opponent this week was using Leyline of Binding, and it was a little annoying how good that card was. And Inquisition was a little bit troublesome there, but of course with 4 Thoughtseize and 3 of these, I still had targets. So just a great package there. And lastly, some of the removal. Went with a full 4 Fatal Push. There's so many ways to remove permanents on my own side, or just chumping with Bitterblossom tokens. That Fatal Push is definitely a 4-up, and it was fantastic. Of course, I am running a Golgari Charm. I wanted to really make sure I tried it out this week, and I liked it quite a bit. Destroying a target enchantment is actually pretty relevant. And by the way, Urza Saga is an enchantment. It's an enchantment land. But anyway, you can also regenerate a creature, which could be relevant. But the -1/-1 was actually pretty big. There's a couple times where that really netted me some advantage there. And then the absolute stud, rarely was I ever disappointed, was Witherbloom Command. This card is absolutely fantastic, and I recommend that you just give it a shot. Maybe this isn't the right deck, but I can tell you, it sure seems like it. So, if you can make them mill 3 cards and put those in their graveyard, obviously, the big thing is that you can return a land from your graveyard to your hand. And of course, that's what I was alluding to earlier with the Bojuka. Every once in a while, you just needed to blow something up, and you could play this, get the Bojuka, and actually destroy a couple things. Because the next mode is that destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana 2 or less. Absolutely fantastic. And then there was target creature gets -3/-1, so you could maybe get away with killing a couple things. So let's say you could kill red and 6 and a creature, maybe a Ragavan or something. So super relevant. And then this last one, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2. Several times I actually used that mode. Several times it was really good too. So there's really no wasted modes with these cards, and it was just great. And of course, just quickly one more time, those Tarmogoyfs, Confidant, 2 of them, 3 of the Voidwalker, 3 of the Bitterblossom, 4 of the Reclaimer. I think what I would do, just to kind of go over this, I'm going to cut one more Bitterblossom, and I'm going to add a Dark Confidant. And honestly, I know I keep saying I need 4 Dark Confidants. I think that I do. So I'm going to cut 1 Voidwalker for 1 more Dark Confidant as well. But I will absolutely make sure to have 2 Voidwalkers in the sideboard, along with 2 Bitterblossoms, I think. But here's my sideboard. Got Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Pithing Needle, Surgical Extraction, 2 of them. I ran 3 Torak. This card is a house against Omnath, and a couple other decks. Very good. Play it. Probably just 2, so that would be where one of my Bitterblossoms would be in the sideboard, or a Void Walker. I ran 2 Engineer Explosives. Bojuka Bog, love that. That was a great target for your Reclaimer. A Blast Zone, also a target for the Reclaimer. I only have 1 unlicensed Hearst. I was thinking I was running 2, but I only did have 1, and 2 Void Mirrors. So the question is, I do believe I need to get 2 of these. So I think what I would maybe do, since I can technically, you know, have more of a chance to get some of these cards with Dark Confidant and stuff, I think I'm just going to go 2 Toraks. And maybe just, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough. But probably I'm just going to go 2 Torak and put 1 more Bitterblossom in the side. And I'd probably cut the second Assassin's Trophy in my board, and then go with another unlicensed Hearst, just to have kind of a full thing for the meta. You know, I might have to play around with that a little bit, but I kind of like that. I do like having 1 extra spot removal in the sideboard for kind of the more aggressive decks. And Abrupt Decay does a lot of work in a lot of different things, so I do like that one as a 1-of. So anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, the description will have this week's version of the deck. And I do appreciate I have gotten a couple other comments and suggestions that I will actually try those versions of soon, once I've kind of tapped out my brain power on it. So again, thank you guys. I again went 1-3, but certainly this week it felt like a match. It actually felt like I was playing Magic, interacting and grinding, and it was really good. But I do need to study the format more and be prepared better if I'm going to run this deck. If you are a person who knows the format in and out, I would suggest trying the deck out. If you are new or haven't played in a while, I would not suggest playing at all. Anyway, guys, I will be having another video, just 1 booster pack. I kind of told myself I would open as many packs as I got wins. I thought I was actually going to, you know, do better than 1 win. But I will have a 1-pack opening and then probably do a short or something. So hope you guys have a great weekend. It's been a good weekend for me so far. And enjoy your time. Have a great one. Bye.